Summer is a busy time for wildlife photography. The past few days have been spent exploring new and familiar places, testing out the gear loaned to me by OM System, including the OM-1 Mark II with the 150 to 400mm, 90mm macro, and 8 to 25mm lenses. I have also been gathering footage for my forest project, and am excited to be compiling some great footage for that video. Today, I'm out once again in the beautiful forest. My first goal is to set up my 2 trail cameras, and to do that, I am headed to a location where I've had the cameras set up in the past, and a location where I've had good success. I then plan to explore the forest, looking for wildlife to photograph. It is shortly after sunrise, so I'm excited to see what I can find. My name is Todd DeWald, and I'm a full-time wildlife and conservation photographer in New England. I invite you to join me in exploring the incredible diversity of wildlife that call this region home. Along the way, I'll share my knowledge and experience to help us all become better naturalists and better photographers. My hope is that these videos inspire you to discover the wildlife in your own area and use photography as a way to protect the natural places that remain. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, consider subscribing and joining the journey. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I got the trail cameras set up. They're set up in a location, like I said, that I've had trail cameras at before, but I had them right along the brook. So there's a brook that flows right through that section. There's kind of a log that fell over, and there's a little bit of a stream crossing. But right now the brook is so low that you can just kind of hop over the rocks. So before I had the cameras kind of right on the crossing area, and it's a location I've seen coyote and bobcat crossing. But this time I set them back a little bit farther away from the brook. There's like a natural trail that just flows right up to the brook and kind of along the side of it. So I positioned the 2 cameras to kind of capture different angles of the trail that goes to that brook, and hopefully we'll have some success. I'm excited to see what we can find. It's a really dense section of the forest in here. It's a lot of mountain laurel, a lot of low vegetation, and then there's kind of really 2 main different layers in the forest. We have the lower canopy with this lower young section and the shrubs, and then there's the upper canopy as well. So right now I'm hearing some black-throated blue warbler calling in there. There was a flycatcher that was along the brook. I was trying to get some photos of it, but it ended up flying just kind of up and back along the brook and didn't really sit still very well. But I'm gonna continue on now. I'm actually gonna head back down to the trail and then shoot up and follow the trail up to a higher elevation. We'll just have to wait and see and enjoy the beautiful forest right now. It's really humid, which makes it tough, but still have to enjoy it. So can't find a much better spot than this to have a little break, have some water. In the past, I've seen eastern phoebes perching here, and I actually had a nest over in those rocks. But it's just beautiful little waterfall. The water is pretty low right now. We haven't really had much rain since we had a really wet spring, and now it's just really decreased. But I'm going to try to do put my 8 to 25mm lens on and try to do some long exposure of the waterfall. Maybe test out the live ND filter that's in the camera, do some computational photography. Yeah. So that was really nice. It's really nice not have to fiddle around with ND filters, just having the live ND filter inside the camera. You can see it right in the viewfinder. You can see what the exposure is going to look like and how the water flow is going to look. It's really, really useful, really nice. I was able to play around with it a little bit, and kind of towards the end, the sun kind of started peeking through, just kind of like it is now, and it kind of really helped illuminate some of the water, which was really nice. So definitely a nice little surprise to find in the forest, and a worthwhile spot to break and play around with some features in this camera. But I'm going to continue on now and try to find some birds and wildlife to photograph. I've been hiking along for a little while now, and I've come across a pair of yellow-bellied sapsuckers. You can probably hear them calling up above, and they're kind of going around different trees up above me. And there seems to be one tree in particular that they have some wells on, and I've actually seen a ruby-throated hummingbird around the wells as well. I've seen it kind of flying and perching on branches nearby. It's actually, I saw it first when it chased away I think it's a phoebe up there, which is really neat, something I've never seen before. So I want to try to, there is a little bit of a hill here. I'm going to try to go up the hill a little bit, see if I can get a little bit of a higher vantage point, and see if I can find and get some footage of the hummingbird going to the wells, because that's something that they do, but it's something I've never seen or been able to get footage of. So it'd be really, really awesome to see if I can get. All right, I made my way up the hill a little bit, and now I have the hickory tree that they've been perching on, and it looks like there's some wells in there, and that's where I've seen the hummingbird as well. So the sapsuckers are still right above me. So I'm just gonna sit here quietly, sit and wait, and hopefully they'll come to this tree. I can get some photos and video and maybe find the hummingbird as well. Yellow-bellied sapsuckers, and sapsuckers in general, are a unique kind of woodpecker. Males have a red cap and also a red patch on their throat, while the females lack the red markings on their throat. While they also excavate cavities in trees to raise their young, they also drill what is called sap wells into the bark of trees. These wells penetrate the vessels within the tree that transport sap up to the leaves, and they are visible as tiny holes going around and up the trunks. This sap is high in nutrients and also attracts a variety of insects to the wells, which the sapsuckers also feed on. Sapsuckers choose a variety of species to excavate wells, and the trees chosen change with the seasons, as the sugar content of the sap changes seasonally within trees. Birches, maples, hickories, and tulip poplars are some of the favorites, and oaks are also used in the fall months. Once fledged, the young sapsuckers, which appear more brown, hang out with the parents and stay close to established wells to become self-sufficient. These young were no longer being fed by the adults, indicating that they likely fledged more than 4 days ago. These family groups remain together until the young become more independent and can successfully drill their own wells on appropriate trees, which is usually around 6 weeks after fledging. Family groups may eventually migrate together as well.
These wells play an important role within the forest community, as they provide food for many other insects and birds, such as ruby-throated hummingbirds. These hummingbirds have been found to nest near sapsucker wells, and follow around sapsuckers throughout the day to take advantage of the sugary sap and the insects attracted to the wells. It was a pleasure to catch even just a short glimpse of this interaction in the wild, and I am so grateful to have gotten some video of the encounter. I eventually left the sapsuckers and hummingbirds alone and continued on into the forest.
Here's another really nice native wildflower. It's called rattlesnake plantain. It's actually part of the orchid family. It has these really beautiful, almost like variegated leaves. You can almost see the veins and such in them. And then they send up a spike with a cluster of flowers on top. So it's really nice. It'll probably be blooming in the next couple of weeks. I've seen a couple of them dotted around, but this is one of the few ones that actually has a spike for flowers. So that's really nice to see. There's actually a whole bunch of them over in that section. So this will be a really nice spot in the next couple of days. Oh, this is really nice. Have a little bit of a rain shower coming through right now, but the sun's still kind of peeking out as well, so it's really, really nice. I was on my way out and I heard these begging calls, kind of squawking begging calls. It sounds like from like a woodpecker nest. So I'm heading over to this spot to see if I can find anything. I'm just going really slow because I don't want to disturb them. And they don't know exactly where I'm going, so I'm just going to try to go really, really quietly. Chances are the cavity is probably pretty high up, but I couldn't even find a cavity up there, so I decided to just sit and wait. I figured a bird had to have come to the nest at some point to feed the young that's begging, and a yellow-bellied sapsucker just came, and I was able to locate the cavity because I was just able to locate the bird going to it. But it's up on top. It's probably about 30, 40 feet up on this kind of dead trunk. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have any really good angles on it. I'm going to see if I can get it so I have some foliage in the background so I don't have the sun or the sky right behind it, because the clouds with the rain have kind of moved on. So another one just came and dropped off some food. I'm kind of looking on the side profile of the nest right now. I'll start with that and then see if I can have any openings going that way. Not sure if I'm going to or not, but let's see what we can do.
I didn't really like any of the angles around the cavity of the sapsucker nest, so I decided to leave them in peace and make my way back to the car. As I was recording the end of my video, I didn't realize that my battery in my mic had died, but I ended up having possibly the best encounter of the day. A black bear came strolling up from the stream and came walking right over toward me. The poor bear looked so hot and was panting, and it did not take long for her to see me. I managed to snag a few photos and some video clips as the bear circled around me, pausing to scratch on a downed tree, before continuing on their way up the trail. I decided to let the bear go undisturbed, choosing not to follow, as I didn't want my presence to cause the bear to flee and use up any more energy in this heat. I am always grateful to have an encounter with a bear, especially one so close, and with the bear so relaxed. The forest is always filled with surprises, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the OM system gear, I'll be happy to answer those questions in the comments below. And if you haven't, and you found this video enjoyable, please consider subscribing. It's a free and easy way to show your support and help my videos reach more people. I also have channel memberships, which are a low-cost method of showing your support. And I want to do a big thank you to those who have already joined. Your support helps me to continue to make videos like this, and I could not do it without your support. So thank you, members. I'll see you in the next video.